Hey, welcome to the Me Show Mission. 2 Men, 1 pod. It's your turn.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Go
ready?
ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Welcome to the Michelle Mission, 2 Men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Vincent Williams, and I am joined as always by...
Hey, what's up? Holla at your boy. This is Len, a.k.a. the Bat Tribble.
And on this, the fourth and final week of Boo-tober,
Boo-tober.
our annual exploration of all things supernatural, monstery, and generally Halloweeny, we have a bit of a twofer. The main event will be the film Vamp from 1986, a bit of a cult classic, and for our purposes, starring one Grace Jones. And then for some reason, which I guess Lynn's going to let us know, we're also watching the short film Captain EO, starring Michael Jackson and Angelica Houston.
Yes.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola and written by George Lucas.
See, there's pedigree behind this.
But before we get to all of that,
before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you, each and every one of you out there watching us streaming live on YouTube as well as on Facebook, and all of you chiming in on the chat line. Robert Monroe, Aaron Fry, Deborah Battle, Bree 517. Shout out to each and every one of you out there.
Good evening.
As we come to a close with Boo-tober, we got emails, Vincent.
Missives from the missionaries.
Yes, we got an email from Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Hello. I found you guys right before COVID.
Okay.
And love your show.
Thank you.
I love your thoughtfulness.
Well, we try.
Banter.
We do banter.
And your honesty.
Hey.
I was really enjoying your review of Candyman 2021. I love your horror months. Until Jane Goodall came up.
Oh, boy.
Please explain what sounded like a diss to me. Anna.
Oh, I don't think it was. If it was a diss, if it sounded like a diss, it certainly wasn't a diss. Was it, Lynn?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a diss. If I remember correctly, as Vincent has reminded me, somewhere during the review, you had made mention to Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character listening to the tapes of Virginia Madsen's character, Helen.
From the original Candyman. And then we talked about how inadvertently and perhaps a bit deliberately, because again, we were talking about how much Wes Craven deliberately was dealing with that sort of white gaze in black paint, and we mentioned that using that tape sounded like some white explorers
exactly
in deepest darkest Africa from like the 19th century in the way they would talk. And then you said you like Jane Goodall,
and I said like Jane Goodall.
I think we actually said, oh, but she's for the apes,
right?
So
yeah, so it was a very
off the cuff.
We
were just thinking about white people in Africa,
exactly.
But Jane Goodall, obviously, or hopefully, obviously,
yeah, it was not meant as a diss at all.
No. With Edgar Burroughs.
There you go.
Talking about.
Yeah, so it wasn't a diss, Anna.
We were talking before we started about the novel Dune, and you were talking about you weren't a science fiction,
right?
So you didn't read any like the John Carter of Mars, like any of those books, like John Carter, Warlord of Mars, or the Princess of Mars, or like, did you read any of the Venus book? Remember Carson of Venus?
Yeah, kind of like knockoffs of John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
No, here, okay. You're going to shame me mercilessly.
Have I touched a chord by mentioning John Carter, Warlord of Mars?
No, you're just going to shame me. I know it.
Okay.
But I don't care because I'm willing to admit it.
Right. And you stand strong.
I stand strong.
And you're nerdity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a nerd.
I know that.
Black Tribble.
Nerd core.
Head of the Black Tribble.
That's right.
But
Okay.
As I told you, I'm a comic book guy.
Okay. Fair.
I grew up on comic books, and they were really my entryway into science fiction.
Okay.
And my other entryway into science fiction was television.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right. So science fiction books, I didn't really read a whole lot of, except.
Okay. Is this where the shame's going to come?
This is where the shame
so far,
comes.
I think you're on solid ground.
And mind you, I was a kid.
Okay.
There were these series of books, and I'm drawing a blank on the character's name. It was about this kid who was like this super smart scientist.
Okay.
Who had like a family that were like uber rich, but they were also like a family of scientists. I think he was like called Tommy Tomorrow or something like that. And his books dealt with him like having kind of like science fiction type adventures in that way.
Okay.
He was almost like the Hardy Boys, but his were sci-fi.
Okay.
I read those as a kid. I like those. That's pretty much as far as my literary science fiction goes. Other than that, it was comic books.
I don't think that's that bad.
And movies.
I was waiting for you to say something crazy. You actually let me down a little bit. I was all ready to shame you.
Really?
I did. I had my bell.
You had to shame.
And now the bell goes unrung.
Oh, well, good. Thank you. I feel better.
But I keep it at the ready.
I'm sure you do.
I keep it at the ready.
You keep it in a holster. That's the thing. That's the scary part.
Right.
In a holster for your bell.
But no Jane Goodall diss.
It was not a Jane Goodall diss.
Jane Goodall is all good here on the Michelle Mission.
Yes. We also got an email from Ellis Heron.
Hey, what's up, Ellis? Did we just talk to Ellis?
We just talked to Ellis via email the other day.
Him, Ellis,
bringing up his delight that we might be watching Twa. But he sends another email with the subject line of "Passing the Torch with Candyman."
Okay.
I appreciated your review of Candyman last week. As usual, you gave thoughtful insight to each of your perspectives on the film. One fact you and many other reviewers out there keep pointing out is the movie was too short.
Yes.
If they had more time to expand on the Candyman mythology and story, it would have been a much deeper film. One thing you pointed out that I didn't notice was that it felt like a chunk of the movie was missing. After Anthony found out the truth from his mom and disappeared into that house, what the hell happened after that?
Right.
I'll admit, the movie had me when I noticed it appeared that no people of color were being killed in the movie until the sister got killed in the bathroom. It looked like they were going somewhere with the kills.
Yeah.
But then it got derailed for me after that.
I mean, look,
that's a fair point.
Look, they did call him now.
I know, but still,
look, man.
But the movie is setting up that Candyman is killing for purpose.
No, yes, and the purpose is keep my name out your mouth.
Okay, yes, but the purpose was a little bit more than that.
Look,
as the film was being set up.
Look.
Now, the only thing that you have on your side is that the killings of white people that we saw,
right,
were by this newer manifestation of Candyman.
Right.
And the sister that was killed in the bathroom
was killed by like 70s Candyman.
Yeah, was killed
70s
by
Candyman.
Past Candyman.
So you think it wasn't Tony Todd Candyman?
Well, the thing is, we don't know what that Candyman's necessary motivation was.
Right.
You could maybe think that Anthony / Candyman's motivation of killing all these white people, especially considering the white people that he
I was about to say, because he wasn't just indiscriminately killing white people.
Well, he's not.
Like, he was actually killing people who were into that exploitive relationship with black pain.
Except when he kills the white girls in the restroom.
No, but remember,
because they were picking on the girl.
And
that's right.
And the one girl had come to the exhibit.
That's right.
Which is how she knew about it.
Right. Okay. So you can argue that, but 70s Candyman, the argument could be made that he killed the little black girl in the bathroom
The
because,
black
like
girl.
you said, his name was
Look.
in the mouth.
Look, again, Candyman is the easiest. Like, he's the easiest dude to avoid.
Mm,
Like, every Candyman movie should be 20 minutes long.
right.
Just don't say his name. Leave him alone.
I know, but sometimes it's not. It's that candy. Tastes like candy.
All right.
Anyway,
All right.
Ellis continues.
Ellis continues.
I know I brought up my mother-in-law in my last letter, but she and I talk movies quite a bit.
Oh, that's all right.
With that, I ended up agreeing with Vincent's opinion of the movie, while she agrees with Len.
Oh, you know what it sounds like to me? Ellis and his mother-in-law should have a film podcast.
Man, we don't need no more competition out there.
Sure we do. The more voices, the better.
Okay.
I'm pro Ellis and his mother-in-law having a podcast.
All right. Sure. Yeah, we'll see what he says off the mic, ladies and gentlemen. As for passing the torch from Denzel,
Okay.
I like to enter Michael B. Jordan into the evidence. Like Denzel, he got to start in TV, is a proven leading man, producer, about to be a director, has been People Magazine's sexiest man alive, and has had critical acclaim with award recognition outside of the Globes and Oscars. Thanks again for the great reviews and commentary. Ellis Heron from Fort Worth. P.S. Monica Calhoun was in Toi 2, Pandora's Box, and not the original. I'm sure you're not going to review that, or Toi 3, the Escort, since they both went straight to video, even though I'd love to hear you tear them both apart.
Wait, Monica Calhoun wasn't in the first Toi?
No, she was in Toi 2, Pandora's
Who
Box.
was in Toi?
Well, first of all, I find it interesting that this means that you, in some way, watched Toi 2.
No.
Mm.
Okay, first of all, I did. But let's be clear. I'm a fan of Monica Calhoun.
Oh, so
you know that's what got me to.
so
Toi
you was
2.
walking through Blockbuster
right
that
like,
day.
Right. You're like
saw-
the Monica Calhoun section. It's like that in Gang of Roses. And the 10 minutes combined that she's in The Best Man and The Best Man Holiday. Do my girl so dirty.
I just want to see the Monica Calhoun section of Blockbuster.
Who's in Toi?
I see. Okay, now I gotta.
I
Look
really
it up.
did think Monica Calhoun
Now
was
I
in
gotta
Toi.
I gotta look it up.
So who's in the first Toi? Who are the three people in Toi?
Who
I'm
makes
assuming
up?
it's three people.
Who are the Toi
Who
in Toi?
who is the trio in Toi?
Toi. I'm watching it. Stars your favorite and mine, Gary Dourdan.
I thought he was in the third Toi. He's in the first Toi.
I think I think he comes back for Toi 3.
I did not know that because he's always going to be Shaza to me. I did not know that Shaza is in the first Toi.
Yes.
Who else?
Gretchen Palmer.
Where do I know her from?
Gretchen Palmer, from the Parkers. She was
Probably
also
not
in
Parker.
Fast Forward.
Okay, fast forward. I probably know her from.
Yeah, you may know her from that.
Right.
And Kenya Moore.
Kenya Moore is in Toi.
That's right. That's right. Kenya Moore, who I believe, if I'm correct, wasn't she like
She was a Miss something, a Miss
Miss
USA,
Miss
or
Universe.
Yeah.
No, she won Miss USA.
So it's two women in Toi? I thought it was two dudes.
No,
and
I
one
knew it was
woman.
two women. I knew it was two women. I knew that, and I couldn't remember which one Kenya Moore was in. But so I never wanted to say that. But Kenya Moore was in the first one.
Okay.
She was the original Toi.
She was the original.
The original Toi starred Gary Dourdan,
Toi.
Gretchen Palmer, and Kenya Moore.
Kenya Moore.
There you go. All right.
There you go.
So that is and no, he's not. And Gary Dourdan, let's give him his props. He is not in Toi 3. You know who is in Toi in Toi 3? Well, Toi the Escort.
Because remember it was a spinoff. It's like Toi presents Escort. Who is it?
Brian White, Patrice Fisher, Reagan Gomez, Preston. I believe they make the Twa.
That's the Twa.
But there's this very special guest appearance by Isaiah Washington.
That's a damn shame. He'd have kept his mouth shut. He'd have still had an actual career.
Right. Right.
And I actually like Brian White and Reagan Gomez. I didn't know who that third person was, but
okay. And now we have to see see who was on the call sheet for Twa 2.
Besides Monica Calhoun.
Pandora's Box.
Yeah. So it's Monica Calhoun.
Starring alongside Monica Calhoun, we have Michael Jai White.
Oh, Black Dynamite is in Twa 2.
Here's a favorite of yours, Vince. Christophe St. John.
Is Christophe St. John in Twa 2?
Yes, obviously before Queen Sugar.
No. Christophe St. John is he was on the soap opera.
Isn't he?
No,
he's not. You're right.
Because he just passed.
That's right.
A few months ago.
That's right. That's right.
My wife watches Young and the Restless. This was a situation in my house.
That's right. He was on the Young and the Restless.
Yeah, I know he was on the Young and the Restless.
Played Neil.
Yes, he did.
From 1991 to 2019.
Yes.
But somewhere in there, he fit time.
Somewhere in there, he was in Twa 2.
Twa
Hard.
Pandora's Box. And he was there alongside Joey Lawrence.
I didn't know white people got to be in Twa.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he rented them the room.
Trying to expand their fan base.
And Tyson Beckford.
Tyson Beckford, also in Twa.
Also in Twa. That's a
lot of Twas that you just did.
A quad.
There were 6. What's
and I didn't even mention
it's 2 Twas. It's a duo of Twas. It's a Twa duet. It's a sextet.
I can't with you. I can't.
It's a hexagon.
It's a hexagon.
A hexagon of sexiness.
Oh, God.
And probably some type of rash. That's a lot of people.
Oh,
somebody's going to get a rash.
You shouldn't be quiet.
Why are you scratching like that? No reason.
Twa 4, the scab.
Twa 5. Let's go buy some cranberry juice. That'll clear that right up.
Twa 5. Benadryl dreams. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord. Anyway. In the chat, Farrell Blackwell. What's up, dog? He's chiming in. He says he's going to start a podcast that focuses on discussing actors who played the one black character in a movie or TV series.
I like that.
You'd be all day.
Yeah.
Some might say we're reviewing one now.
Well,
we are. When you think about it,
we are. Well, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. All right. So those are our emails. Thank you, Ellis.
Thank you, Ellis. Thank you
for the email. Appreciate you very much. Good man. Real quick, just about his point about passing the torch from Denzel. He'd like to offer Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
In there. Where do you stand on Michael B. Jordan?
You know, I love Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Michael B. Jordan. I think I like how he does different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I appreciate the action star Michael B. Jordan that he has added to his portfolio.
Yeah, well, he's got broad shoulders,
right? So. But between The Wire
mm-hmm.
and Friday Night Lights
mm-hmm.
and Fruitville Station,
yeah,
I always know he has the chops to actually act
mm-hmm.
when he wants to. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah. I like Michael, and I like the way that he's, seems to be managing his career. So.
Yeah. And I enjoyed the first Creed a great deal.
I did too. I didn't really,
and I thought the second Creed was all right.
I thought the second Creed was all right.
I
I
mean,
don't know if I'll
diminishing
return.
returns, but
I don't know if I'll return for Creed 3.
right.
But
Oh, of course I'll return for Creed 3.
I mean, eventually
Yeah.
we have to.
Right. Well, we haven't done any of the creeds.
We
We are
haven't?
creedless.
Really?
We have not.
We have not rolled up that Creed yet. All right. Well, we need to
Yeah.
in time,
In time.
but not tonight.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Tonight is the end of Boo-tober, ladies and gentlemen.
Boo-tober. Yes, it is.
And we are doing a very special 2-part review.
Yes, we are. So I guess we should go ahead and
So before we,
Like-
so we're going to review one film before we get into trailer talk, and then we'll
right. So let's go ahead and is it okay if I say get it over with? Is that fair?
Yes.
Say
Yes.
get it over with.
Yes. Let's get it over with.
Yeah. So go ahead. You talk about Captain EO.
Well, aren't you going to like introduce it a little bit?
Sure, Captain EO. It's a Disney movie. Michael Jackson plays Captain EO, who's the captain of a spaceship with a bunch of puppets, and they have to deliver a package to a queen, and they're singing and dancing, and it's Captain EO, and somehow they roped Angelica Houston into it, and it used to be at Disney. And at one point, Michael Jackson's wearing a cape, and I realized that I'd never seen Michael Jackson wear a cape. And then I thought about the fact that I'd never seen Michael Jackson wear a cape, and it seems like Michael Jackson would have worn more capes.
I would have thought so too.
Doesn't it seem like
he seems
should
like
have-
he wore
like he seemed like a cape dude,
yeah.
and yet no capes.
But I wonder if he worried about people saying he's stealing James Brown shtick.
James Brown didn't wear a cape. Like they put the cape
But
over.
the fact of the matter is that it was still his thing, and
I'm
that
saying he should he should have wore it.
yeah. Well, Michael would have ripped out of the cape just like he does in the
Just like
movie.
he does in the movie. He rips it. But this is your look. This your thing. You talk about Captain EO. What you guys say about Captain EO here? This fourth episode of Boo-tober 2021. Lynn.
Okay, so Captain EO, and we should preface this by letting people know that Captain EO is a short film that was done as a 3D movie in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
So it was done with the idea that you're going to be watching this in a 3D theater. You're going to have with special glasses. You're going to have all the effects coming rocketing out to you, and some of the puppets / Muppets, because Jim Henson didn't do this, so they're not Muppets.
Well, I didn't say Muppets.
I know, no, but
I
I'm
used the word Muppets.
But what I was going to say, they have more of a Muppet kind of look about them, but they're not.
See, now you're gonna get the Jim Henson people mad at us.
They're not Muppet. Okay, they're somewhere between Muppets and puppets, so they're Nuppets. So it's an N, all right. So they're Nuppets, all right, and like they come flying out of the screen. So it's supposed to be like 3D, right? So that's the first thing you should know. The other thing that you should know is, as you alluded to, Vince, this was a film that was created to play at Disney theme parks, where it actually did play from 1986 all the way through to 1998 at different theme parks across the world. It actually played in Tokyo Disney as well, over at Euro Disney, as well as living in Florida at the main Disney place there. And it was
Okay.
and it was because it was more of the spectacle was the film. It wasn't attached to any type of ride. So the whole thing was that you were just going to go in and see this whole 3D adventure with Michael Jackson. And at the time for the film, Michael Jackson did 2 original songs for this film. So you were seeing songs that, you weren't hearing anyplace else. You're seeing Michael Jackson, 1986, at the height of his powers. I said that is like, prime Michael Jackson mania right there in 1986, right? And because this is Disney and because this is Michael Jackson, they are able to get their, pick of the litter to help produce this movie. And as you alluded to, this film was, or as you mentioned, this film was written by George Lucas. Yes, the George Lucas who wrote, produced, and directed, a lot of the Star Wars films. He didn't direct all of them, but he wrote a lot of them, all of that. He's a man. He's
a Star Wars guy.
He's a Star Wars guy. This film is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who only the man who has made arguably two of the greatest movies of all time, Godfather 1, Godfather 2. So not only is he a man who created one of the greatest movies of all time, he's a man who has also created one of the greatest sequels of all time. Some might say even the sequel surpasses the original.
Mm-hmm.
So you have him directing this movie. You also have Angelica Houston. Not a huge, super huge star, but a name nonetheless, who has agreed to co-star in this film, primarily because at the time, I believe she was actually dating Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
So she's like, sure, you're going to be there. I can get a check too. So she's in the film as well. And at the head of it, you have Michael Jackson, who I mentioned in 1986 is at the apex of Jackson mania.
I just want an addendum. Angelica Houston had won an Academy Award.
Academy Award winning.
Yeah, for Pritzi's Honor.
Yes. And Francis Ford Coppola had won.
So there were two Academy Award winners
attached
in this. No, not attached. Involved.
Directly involved, had their hands in the making.
This is quite a preamble. So what'd you think of it, though?
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We've got time. We've got real estate here.
We? Because the film's only 20 minutes.
It's 17 minutes.
Are we going to talk 17 minutes about a 17-minute movie?
I just want to give people an idea of exactly where Michael Jackson is in 1986. This is after Thriller.
Yeah.
This is after
Bad, I think.
No, it's not after Bad, but it's right before Bad.
Okay.
Bad comes out in, I believe, in like 87 or something like that. But it's right before. He's building up for Bad. So, it's prime Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson, we all know, was the star of all these the videos, especially from the Thriller the Thriller album, Bad, Beat It, of course, the Thriller, the short film that was
Thriller that was actually about supernatural elements. Maybe would have been a better fit for this conversation. Some would say. I'm some.
But Michael Jackson at this point is also a man looking for a challenge. He's looking for challenges. And one of the challenges that he sets in front of himself is that he wants to show that he can act. He wants to do that because he wants to move into movies. Remember, at this time, Michael Jackson, this is when it starts bubbling up that Michael Jackson wants to do a Peter Pan movie and wants to be Peter Pan in a movie because he sees himself as a veritable Peter Pan.
It wasn't a red flag at all. Ageless demon who kidnaps children.
So he wants to.
What were we thinking about?
He wants to make this move into.
It's like R. Kelly's a Pied Piper. Michael Jackson's Peter Pan. What were we thinking?
Michael Jackson wants to make this move to show that he can act. So now he has this opportunity to do this film, which is written by George Lucas, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. He's going to be acting against Academy Award winning actress Angelica Houston. He's also going to be acting against, I don't know whether or not this is a favorite of his, but he's going to be acting against one of my comedian favorites, Dick Shawn, in a very short role as the kind of like the floating head,
floaty fuzzy head.
Yeah. I'm a huge Dick Shawn fan, so seeing Dick Shawn.
I mean, who is?
Well, most people don't know who he is, but I knew who he was, and I was tickled. It was Dick Shawn. So he has set himself up for greatness.
So what'd you think of the movie, Lynn?
It's not it's not really good. And I tried to look at it through the lens of 1986. And I also tried to look at it through the lens of this going to be in Disney, so it's primarily for kids. That being said, it's not good either lens you look at it through. Primarily because for a couple of reasons. One, the story is non-existent.
I was about to say, I was hoping you could tell me what the story was. I was like, well, maybe Lynn can tell me what the story was.
The story of the movie is that Michael is called upon by the head Dick Shawn. I don't know. He's the head guy. He's called upon to deliver this gift to this queen magistrate
of was she the queen
of some planetoid.
What is the organization that Captain EO is representing?
I don't know.
Where is Dick Shawn? Where he's dead?
I don't know, but he's called upon to deliver the gift,
right?
And we're left to believe. I thought that he would then have to go pick up the gift, but apparently the gift was already there.
And Captain EO is both ragtag and infamous.
See, I was going to go there because he's introduced as the infamous Captain EO, which sets you up that he's going to be this kick-ass captain,
like a pirate.
Yeah,
like a space pirate,
right? And that all these little Nuppets that are manning his ship, the two-headed Nuppet and the elephant Nuppet, who are a little scary in appearance. There's that.
I can't believe you wasted our time with this.
It's all set up that they're going to be a kick-ass crew. But no, they fumble. The one guy can't reach the button. He's jumping against the button. And then Michael Jackson comes out of the floor.
Where was he? What was he doing?
Perhaps he was in the lavatory. I don't know. But he comes rising out of the floor to stand at his station.
Station? I'm just let me know when it's time to talk about Vamp. Because this is disgraceful.
It is disgraceful because
that we're doing this. This was a terrible idea, and I can't believe we're sitting here doing this, and you trying to hold this together. Look at you over there. Look at you.
Well, the film is dark. It's very dark. There's hardly any lights. And I understand that, you would think with all the stars in space, there will be some light. But there's no light. Except Michael Jackson does wear all white, but it looks kind of dingy because it's all dark. And it's everything is like there's no light. Like there's no lights here at all. So it's very dark, which makes it ominous.
Is that what we're going with? It was ominous.
It's trying to evoke a feeling of alien.
Evoke.
Yeah, trying to evoke that alien feeling.
Is that what it was doing?
Yeah.
That's what you pulled from?
It's what I think they were going for.
That's what you think they were going for?
I think that was the tone.
I mean, certainly.
I mean, you do see the ship,
Disneyland and something for kids.
You do see the ship like flying through space and
pull from Alien,
and it kind of definitely tries to have some Star Wars type of imagery there.
Sure.
It flies alongside like a huge ship alongside, pew, pew, and it's got a wing, sail. Right. That little elephant guy can't reach the button for it.
Say hit the button, and
can't hit the button.
Hit the button,
and yeah, I'm sorry.
And that's what I needed. I have nothing to add.
But here's my hot take from this movie.
Oh my God.
Here's my hot take from this movie. All right. because I think it's very interesting. Angelica Houston and Dick Shawn aside. Because Dick Shawn, at this point in his career, he's not the comedic, star that he once was.
Old Hollywood, though.
He's old Hollywood.
Right.
So he's taking a check. I'll do a floaty head, whatever.
Sure.
Angelica Houston dating Francis Ford Coppola, doing her man a solid.
Right. And I would say Dick Shawn was probably doing somebody.
Like this
a solid. Felt very buddy.
Yeah. Or paying a bill.
Yeah.
He was like, this will pay a bill.
Yeah.
Angelica Houston doing her man a solid. Totally doing her man a solid because she maybe has 5 lines in the entire movie.
Right. And she has an Oscar. So I knew she got something else to do.
She's got plenty else to do. So this was a day.
Yeah.
It was a day that she came to the set and it was like, oh.
I mean, was that her in the makeup though?
But the makeup, it didn't look like her, but you don't see anybody else in the cast.
Right.
So I'm thinking that it was her. Which, to that point, then the makeup was actually pretty good because it didn't look like her.
Right.
But then when she transforms at the end, you can definitely see
Angelica Houston.
But she doesn't have a line at that
actress Angelica Houston.
Yes.
Opposite Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. What's your hot take?
Here's my hot take. I think it's very interesting that this film stars Michael Jackson, written by George Lucas, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Michael Jackson, we talk about huge entertainer, one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
No doubt.
Definitely trying to make his move into acting. Does not show that he does not have the chops for acting.
Right.
What little bit of acting he's asked to do, which is not much, he doesn't even get that over.
Okay.
He can't even sound excited about anything. Right. So he's bad. So that's a hill that he can't cross. George Lucas, visionary behind Star Wars, right? And you got to remember 1986. This is before the prequels.
This is. So
he is pretty much living. On Star Wars at this time.
I mean, he can stop.
Well, he can stop. I mean,
I'm not saying he should have stopped. I'm saying, but he could have stopped.
He could have stopped if he never did anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, right. He wrote this.
Yes.
And you could tell where he's pulling from his Star Wars. He's pretty much some leftover pages from Star Wars he's throwing in here and stuff like that.
He could crib another Kurosawa film for it. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, and that's my point. It shows that even in this little bit, he can't pull anything super original. Right. And time has shown that it's kind of like true of George Lucas in some of this. His writing has been called into question on a lot of stuff. Francis Ford Coppola, Godfather 2. He stopped from there. Gold. There are people who kneel at the feet of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. I love Apocalypse Now.
And I like it. I don't kneel at the altar of it like a lot of people do, but I do like the film.
Yeah.
I represent that it's a good film. And he has some other films.
I was about to say, I like some of his smaller films.
Well, I think the only other smaller one I really, really like, and this is a deep cut, is I think he did Peggy Sue Got Married.
Yes.
You're right, and that's a good one.
Who did The Comedian?
The Comedian?
I mean, the King of Comedy.
Oh, that's Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. All right, go ahead.
But outside of that, his stuff is he's kind of hit and miss in the direction. And in 1986, he's definitely on the lower end of his direction. If you listen to any of his stories, or even just listen to the audio commentary on any of the Godfather DVDs, he at times was hurting for dough because he had this whole vineyard type of thing, right? And he couldn't and his vineyard was basically, he was using that to kind of bankroll some of his films. So I got a funny feeling he takes this job, which they threw a ton of money at this little short film. He takes this job as a way that he's paying a couple of bills too. But I think this is also maybe a indication that Francis Ford Coppola maybe shot his load a little bit in 1986.
Yeah, I'm not judging nobody by this dumb shit. Everybody involved in this except Michael Jackson threw this together in a couple of hours. Like, I hear your arguments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would use this for the argument. Look, if anything,
well, I tried.
If anything, I am fascinated by, what was the name of the video that Michael Jackson had with all of the celebrities in it, and come to find out he was the one doing the filming?
Oh, We Are the World?
No, not We Are the World. There's something off of one of his albums where the video is a bunch of celebrities around and like, where's Michael? Where's Michael? And then come to find out at the end of the video, he was filming the whole thing.
I don't know this video.
Regardless, I always chuckle at how there's so much documentary evidence that Michael Jackson was in the A-list. Like, he was like kind of he was a Hollywood insider, where no one can deny that they were down with Michael Jackson.
Right.
As much as they might want to now.
Right.
Like, we were all there. Like, we all saw y'all chumming it up with Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
So that's all. But yeah, this, it was the 80s. It was the 80s. And we should, yes, and we should.
I was trying to stay in 86. So I was trying to stay in 86.
Which, a couple of corrections. I was wrong about a couple of things. Alien did not come out in 86. Aliens came out in 86.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Alien
came out earlier.
Came out like 79, I think.
Yeah, because not that long after
And I said Blade Runner came out in 86. But you know what I realized?
Oh, I know that.
Blade Runner came out in 82.
Yeah, I knew that didn't come
I saw it in 86 because 86, that was my summer that I saw. Like that was my summer where, talking about the nerdity. Like 86 was the year that everything clicked with me with the movies. But
you sure you didn't start Blade Runner in 82 and just it took you to 86 to finish
the Blade Runner thing because that reflects badly on you.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I think aesthetically is an extraordinary film. I think it's a boring movie.
You stand on that mountain by yourself.
I will. I will. I'll stay there talking about Blade Runner and 2001: The Space Odyssey.
2001: A Space Odyssey, I think, is a better argument because that's just
it's so boring.
Yeah. Well, I think even then people were saying you should be high. Like any movie, you have to be high to enjoy. But are we finished with Captain EO?
You don't want to give your critique on. You don't want to ask me whether or not I recommend.
What critique of Captain EO? What critique of Captain EO? You know my critique of Captain EO. I respect how transgressive it is that Michael Jackson took the classic iconography of the werewolf and the zombie, and he deliberately placed Black people in both of the narratives. Once you put Vincent Price in there, you really do have this very deliberate subversion.
You're talking about Thriller.
Of course I'm talking about Thriller. You know why I'm talking about Thriller? Because that's what we should have been talking about. And you want to talk about Michael Jackson acting. You know my favorite bit of Michael Jackson acting in Thriller? Remember in the beginning when Ola Ray says, I want to leave. And Michael Jackson's eating the popcorn. And no one has ever enjoyed popcorn as much as Michael Jackson has enjoyed that popcorn when they're watching the werewolf.
All you see is his eyes.
When Ola Ray gets up and leaves, there is a split second where he looks at her and he is pissed. And then it goes away and then the video starts, but that's the foreshadowing. I also love how he breaks down the barrier between the two narratives, because at the end where he turns his head back, he's got the werewolf eyes. That was in the embedded narrative in the beginning, which was the film they were watching. I also love how unapologetically Black it is. Like there's breakdancing, You know, Ola Ray is black. He's black. Like, it's just like, it's, again, he takes this classic monster movie material that, because when we think about it, it's in the 40s and the 50s, there were no black people. And then he puts us in there.
Yeah.
I also like the fact, and I will talk about Captain EO here, Thriller is actually scary. Like,
well,
it's
because of the
actually scary.
Yeah, yeah.
Where this is not Michael Jackson making something for, you know, oh, he's kind of kids, you know, like later Michael Jackson, where like his edges sort of get sanded off. Right. Even like the Captain EO stuff, it's like, who is this pablum for? Like, Pinocchio and Dumbo are scarier than this.
Right.
Thriller is actually scary.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, it's got John Landis, you know, directing it.
Yeah. So that's all the commentary I wanted to give on Captain EO.
Well, I think it is also, you know, pretty cool that Michael Jackson then puts blacks in space in Captain EO.
Maybe we can talk about it in April. All right. Are we finished with Captain EO?
So Len, would you recommend that people watch Captain?
So Len, would you recommend that people watch Captain EO?
Well, Vince,
we are still talking about Captain EO.
As a bit of a curio, and for you hardcore Michael Jackson fans, who want to say that you have watched everything Michael Jackson,
everything.
And you probably feel that you have, but something tells me this slipped your notice.
Yes.
And because of that, I do want to recommend.
You would recommend Captain EO
for the hardcore Michael
Jackson fan. Okay. Yes. You gonna ask me?
No, I'm going to.
You have to ask me,
Vincent.
Yes.
Would you recommend that people watch Captain EO?
I agree with you. I do think it is a bit of a curio, not even just a Michael Jackson curio. I think it is one of those, it's like one of the few artifacts from the 80s that is kind of iconic. Like, everyone, like, if you say Captain EO, everyone knows what
they kind of know what it is, right?
But nobody's actually seen it,
right?
Because of the Disney and you had to go. And like you said, the funny thing is, I remember going to Disney World and it wasn't there because it was either going or like the theater.
I think at one time,
it would like move around. So it is kind of interesting that for people of a certain age, like Gen X folks, like, you can see it now. Like, I watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, it's Captain EO. Like, you always heard about Captain EO and you had that image of it. Because remember, they would have the ads.
The poster is
the
dope.
Poster with him in the middle.
Yeah.
So, you know, sure. Watch Captain EO. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then you can say you did.
And then you can say you've actually seen Captain EO.
And you've seen everything that Michael Jackson.
Everything. And thus we bring to a close our conversation about Captain EO.
Yes.
A film that has absolutely nothing to do with Boo-tober, yet somehow we're talking about it in Boo-tober.
I was scared. All right. I guess it's time for us to get into our review.
Yes. Let's talk about
the real movie.
Yes.
Damn. But first, it's time for trailer talk.
All right. Trailer talk. What you want to talk about?
Trailer talk, which is for those who are first time watching us as we stream live, is the part where me and Vince just talk about whatever we want to for a couple of minutes, because this will all be cut out of the actual podcast.
That's right.
Because this is where the trailer for the movie that we're reviewing will be embedded. In this case, it will not be the trailer for Captain EO. It will be the trailer for Vamp.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to be.
So what's on your mind, Leonard?
Leonard? Don't call me Leonard.
Okay. What's on your mind, Len?
Now I'm stuck. Farrell Blackwell says Captain EO is the spiritual prequel to Homeboys in Outer Space.
Did you ever see any episodes of Homeboys from Outer Space?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like I watched 2 just trying to support Daryl Bell.
See, I didn't feel that strong need to support Daryl Bell. No.
You didn't feel the need to support the alumni of
Different
World.
No. Because if you didn't see this turkey from the title on the script, dog, like no.
I think Flex was in it too. And
Flex,
I always liked Flex.
You see, I was never a Flex guy. Flex never did anything for me.
I mean, who's a Flex? Like,
well, you just said you liked him.
I was gonna say, how are you against Flex?
It's not that I'm against him. It's just that I didn't have any. Like, I didn't need to support Flex. No, because Flex, like, what Flex was? What was he, an actor? Was he a rapper? Like,
he was a dancer initially, and then he
kind
of became an actor. He was like one of them guys that was around. I like Flex.
No,
it's as bad as everyone says, though.
Yeah,
it's actually.
Well, I knew that from the commercials. I knew that from the title. It's called Homeboys in Outer Space.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get out of here. No, please. So no, I didn't watch that.
Or like the Secret Diary of Desmond Pifer. Did you ever watch any of those?
That was the one with
Chi McBride.
Yeah,
where Chi McBride
I think
almost destroyed his career right at the very beginning of it.
I think I remember watching maybe the first episode. I'm like, this is.
It was like Slave Benson.
Yeah, it wasn't really.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. I can't think. I had something in my head that I wanted to talk about, but I can't bring it to my mind now. So I don't know what. I don't have necessarily anything to talk about during.
Because you know why? Because Captain EO drained the life out of you. Get yourself together, because Vamp is your movie.
No, I'm ready for Vamp. I just like I had something particular,
and
I'm ready for Vamp. But I just I can't think of anything. You got anything on your head? No, you never have anything on your head. No, I know. This is just came to me. I was listening to a podcast.
Okay.
And the Ryan Russillo podcast. I'm a sports guy.
Okay.
You're not. But he was talking
about our team, boo your team.
Anyway, but he was talking about how he's talking about on his he used to do a radio show.
Okay.
This guy Scott Van Pelt. And he was talking about how on the radio show, like they would always, because it was ESPN radio, they would always want to, like for the holidays, especially for Halloween, they would want them to dress up.
Yes.
Stuff like that. And his partner, who was the lead guy, was always down for that. He was always down for whatever. His promotion is fun, it's whatever. And Ryan was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yes.
Like he was just that guy that was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And I was listening to it today, and I was like, he's Vince.
Yes.
Because you don't
know
nothing.
Always laugh at the spectacle. Never be the spectacle.
But it's just having fun.
I mean,
you didn't even dress up 70s for our Shaft review.
No.
Why?
I don't do that. I know nerd must never judge nerd, but that ain't my thing.
But okay.
No, whatever it is you're about to say, but suppose some terrorists kidnapped In Vogue and said you got to dress up like the Joker. Then would you do it?
No, you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't.
I mean, no, that's just not my.
Suppose
what will go. Suppose what, Lynn?
Suppose
what?
Suppose that Michelle Mission,
yes,
is blessed enough to become a television show.
Yes,
and suppose for a promotion.
No, I'm not dressing up. We just had to do something else
for a commercial.
Why I got to dress up? I'm not selling used cars
for a commercial.
That ain't even our deal. Like, don't nobody listen to us for that kind of nonsense.
But if we're a television show now, we're more of a visual medium.
Nobody's watching us for that kind of nonsense. That ain't what we do. Look, you got 50, 7 other podcasts. Do all that silly shit with them. We're going to have a hot dog eating contest. We should have a hot dog eating contest.
I've never promoted anything like that. I've just wanted us to just.
Maybe we do a human pyramid. Why don't we do a human pyramid? No, I don't do that.
No.
We talk about movies, make obscure references to stuff that really tickles us and hopefully some other people. But honestly, it's us. We talk about 70s comic books, old TV shows. And then I throw a curveball. I'll say something literary. That's our shtick. Everybody know what our shtick is. Music. We're going to talk about some music.
Change up things.
No, I ain't putting on no capes. I ain't putting on no outfits. I ain't wearing no outfits. I don't do that.
I really thought you were going
for that has always been the moment. Star Trek. Oh, we should dress up like Klingons. I'm not dressing up like no fucking Klingon. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, we should go in the woods and LARP. And I'm not going in the woods swinging no damn swords.
Okay, I agree.
Oh, we should dress. No,
I agree with you.
I don't dress up. That ain't my ministry.
Okay. All right.
And again, it's not just you. Like I said, I've been a nerd my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And it always comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the premiere. We should no, I'm not dressing up like no Klingon. I'm going to just go see Star Trek. I'm going to just go see the movie.
But you would wear a Star Trek t-shirt.
Yes, because it's a t-shirt.
That's as far as you'll go.
Right. I'm not wearing no uniforms. Again, I was a Dungeons and Dragons dude. I was actually a Dungeons and Dragons dude. White boys always won't be in the woods. Not going out in the woods swinging those swords. Why can't we just sit in the basement and play Dungeons and Dragons?
Would you?
Your mom is bringing down Rice Krispie treats.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. You know, white people will bring some
yeah, my mom never made Rice Krispie treats.
I was playing with white boys. Dungeons and Dragons. We in the basement.
I don't know. I've never played that. That wasn't my childhood.
See, I love Dungeons and Dragons. We should go out. We should go and get some cloaks. And I'm not putting on no cloak. Going out in the woods. Go in the woods. Swing some swords. I'm not. No. No. That's just not. Going to Comic-Con. I'm gonna dress up. Ooh, I should dress up like Aquaman. I'm not dressing up. I mean, if you like that look.
Deborah Battle said, just stick to the themed tees, which is what you do. I just try to, once in a while.
No.
Had an idea. Trust me, I know.
Right.
I've gotten enough of these no's malleted into my head that no.
We should wear some silly hats.
No. I only suggested the last thing I suggested. I thought you would go for it.
And we get some Afro wigs.
Oh, I have an Afro wig.
I'm I'm sure you do.
I wore it when we did the 70s thing. I was dressed in the 70s. And you know what? Everybody that looks at that video said, why isn't Vince dressed? I said,
because Vince don't do that. Vince don't do that.
It's not his thing. He just watched me in the back, putting on the clothes.
He sure
You
did.
ready?
I sure did. I sure did. That is 100% what I did. They gave us free drinks, and I sat there and I sipped on my bourbon and watched you dress up. That is 100%. That is 100% accurate.
He's like, you ready?
You ready? Because I'm ready. I came here in some clothes, and then they handed me a free drink. Let's go do a show.
Oh, God. All right. So I just thought about that. This has been Len's thoughts. Now let's get into our.
Now, I will say this.
Okay.
The closest,
Ooh.
like the closest I
Ooh.
came,
Oh.
I was maybe this close, Black Panther, putting on some African stuff.
You would have wore dashiki?
I was close.
Okay.
But then I said, I don't be dressing up. That ain't my thing.
Do you have a dashiki?
I do have a dashiki, but I wouldn't have worn it to the Black Panther premiere.
Just on purpose.
Right.
On purpose.
Right.
You're not going to wear it.
Right. That's right. That's right. It's principalities in place.
I'm wearing this shit to Doom.
Here's the funny thing. We are going to the Kennedy Center to see to see KRS-One.
I always hear Kennedy Center and I think of Kennedy Center honors. So
Right. No. But it's like KRS-One, Jazzy Jeff, Rakim, and Slick Rick are doing the show. And like some of my boys were like, "Oh, we should put on some sweatsuits." And I'm not putting on.
You ain't putting on.
No. I don't dress up in costumes.
Wait a minute. It's KRS-One, Jazzy Jeff, Slick Rick,
And Rakim. Yes.
going to be at the Kennedy Center.
Yes.
And you're going
Yes.
with Wendy.
Yes. It's actually my boy's birthday, and we're all going.
So your whole
couples,
crew, all your couple.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. I didn't get an invitation.
Well, his wife put it together.
It's fine.
It wasn't me. I didn't put it together.
It's fine.
My boy's wife put it together.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Like, you don't know him.
it's fine. Was he at your dinner party?
Yes.
Yes, I met him a couple times.
Right.
But that's fine. It's fine. Fine. Let's get into our review of the movie.
My point is, I wasn't going to dress up even for that.
No. You ready to review the film?
Yes. Are you ready?
Sure. I'm here in my place. I'm here in my place.
Right. You want to go put on a cape or something?
Should put on a red wig, but I won't.
Vamp.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
I just did the fuck with you.
Vamp, a 1986 horror comedy directed by Richard Wink, written by Donald Borchers and Richard Wink as well, centers around two fraternity pledges who go to a sleazy bar looking for strippers to entertain their college friends. They have problems with transportation, biker gangs, and worst of all, the staff of the bar, all who seem to be vampires, with the head vampire played by Grace Jones. Starring Chris Makepeace, Sandy Barron, Robert Russler, D.D. Pifer, Gidi Watanabe, and again, Grace Jones. Directed by Richard Wink. This was the choice of Lynn here on the last week of Boo-tober. Lynn, how would you like to begin our conversation about Vamp?
Well, I will begin it this way. It was very interesting in doing the research about this movie to realize that the feelings that I was having while I was watching this film were true because I felt like I had seen this movie before and I had never seen this film before.
Okay.
But the reason why I felt like that was because there are enormous similarities to this from this film to from Dusk Till Dawn, the horror movie by Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez, yeah.
Starring George Clooney and
Quentin Tarantino.
And I believe it was Quentin Tarantino.
I was about to say wrote the screenplay, I thought.
Wrote the screenplay for the film. Both center on these, two white guys, in this film college students, and in that much later film and more grungier type of film, two bank robbers, happening upon a strip club where everyone in it is a vampire.
Right.
And Quentin Tarantino, who we know is is a big fan of not only being influenced by past movies, but kind of reworking, let's be kind and say, homages to those inspirations into his films. You could see where he pulled maybe a little bit too liberally from this film, from Dusk Till Dawn. So that feeling of deja vu was rewarded in watching the reading the history of this movie. That being said, I feel that for a second time tonight, that I must apologize to you, Vincent, for making you sit and watch a film.
I'm not going to step on your review, but you don't have to apologize.
Well, no, I feel like I should, because
go ahead.
As this film, which I believe has a running time of a little over 90 minutes, like it's 94 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying here, 3 hours that it took me to get through this film, I was sitting there aghast at how boring this movie is. How boring a movie about a strip club filled with vampires. A movie that at 94 minutes spends probably conservatively 70 of those minutes inside the strip club.
It's so true. It's like, wow, we still in this club.
We're still in this depressing, neon colored, and apparently PG-13 rated strip club where the women on the stage move in a pseudo rhythm to some pseudo 80s-ish techno funkish hip hopish type of music, but they remove no clothes.
No.
No, they remove no clothes. There are no clothes are removed in this strip club until later in the film, when they realize, I think we're losing them.
I think it's a strip club.
I think we're losing them.
I just assumed they were budgeted one nipple for the whole film to keep their rating.
Well, I believe we may have gotten two nipples.
Two nipples,
a flash.
But they're keeping count.
They're keeping a hard count.
Count of the nipples.
They're keeping a hard count on the nipples. I don't think they spent any extra money on extras, because I think they just bust in people. A bunch of old guys to just sit around in this strip club, because this is the most, I swear, this is the most depressing catatonic strip club I have ever seen. These guys, they're not throwing dollars. They're literally like, they're just like, they're barely throwing dollars up there. And then the acting in this film that is led, and let's put it out there. This film is led by Chris Makepeace, who must be making peace with his maker now, and Robert Russler.
Yes,
they are our window into this world of Vamp.
Yes,
and as windows, they are foggy at best.
Mm.
They are stained probably, and they are just lifeless. They can't get over a line, they can't get over a joke, they can't get over a dramatic moment, they can't get over the pseudo romantic moments that happen in this film. There's nothing enjoyable about their performances at all. They don't even look like they're having fun in the
No.
movie. They look bored in this movie. It actually looks boring. Then you have, and I believe you pronounce his first name Ged
Is
or
it Getty?
Getty Watanabe as Duncan,
Yes.
who as a character actor
Mm-hmm.
is usually, you know, pretty solid. Whenever I've seen him show up he shows up on television, he shows up in like in movies, kind of like in behind the scenes a few times. But in this film, he is just forcing it.
I mean, and I actually double checked because I was like, "Oh, don't say some racist shit."
Yes,
He's
is.
Long Duck Dong
Yes, he's Lung Duck Dong
in 16 Candles.
in 16 Candles from
Right.
1984.
Like I said, I had to. I was like, "Oh, don't mix up Asian actors."
Right, you got to check.
But he is
He's
actually
him, and
the
he's
same
good.
actor,
And he's good in
Right.
that good film.
right, super racist caricature,
Very well, yes,
But
yes.
he does-
what he's
right,
asked to
right.
do
right?
in that film,
Yeah,
he's good.
yeah,
And then in this film, you could feel that he's not really being directed, and it's just like, yo, go be funny. This is 2
Mhm.
years later, so it's like, go be funny. You know, you were funny in 16 Candles, just be funny here. So he's like, okay, I'll be funny, and he's not funny.
no.
He is not a welcome addition to this movie at all. So you land there. Then it's 1986. This film is like a whole lot of like you can definitely tell that it's shot on sound stages all over the
Mhm.
places. So you're not in any type of
One
location.
soundstage.
Just one sound stage that they just kept turning and turning and turning. And okay, it's a sound stage. It's not a whole lot of money left in the budget to make this sewer. We'll make this strip club. Now we got to turn it into a sewer. Now we got to turn it into outside. And they pretty much all look the same. You throw a couple of lights, throw some newspaper on the streets and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. I'm going to give you a pass. You didn't have much to work with there.
Right.
It's whatever. The rest of the actors in this movie, Dee Pifer is, you know, I think she will go on to do some other things, but she's not dope. She's as Allison, kind of like the romantic interest in
She's
this
a
film,
contractually bound love interest
in this film,
so that
that
you
in
can cut
a-
the homoeroticism between the two dudes.
right, which is strong.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Mhm.
It's intense, but you still don't care.
Right.
Billy Drago shows up in this film as Snow. He bleaches his hair white, stuff like why and you think they're going to be kind of like when he's introducing his gang, you think they're going to kind of like be connected to the story. No, they just kind of come running.
The twist.
Right, they just keep running in and out, and
I thought they were going to be vampire.
I thought they're going to be vampire.
I thought they were going to be vampire.
When you see the walk up on the vampires,
Right.
it's like, oh, now we're finally
I
going
thought
to.
we was going to be a reversal, and they're actually good guys.
No. They're just wielding rubber knives all over the place. No,
Yeah.
nothing happened. So then you're like, okay, well, we're here for Grace Jones.
We're here for Grace Jones.
So, and the poster is all Grace Jones with the fright red wig and the white, you know, like makeup, and then when you see her, she's got the body paint all over and the weird metal costuming, and she's on this throne that's shaped like a man. And you learn that the throne is actually a body cast of her boyfriend at the time, Dolph Lundgren. You know, from Rocky IV. What's his famous line from Rocky IV?
If he dies, he dies.
Exactly. So we're here for Grace.
Yes.
And Grace, she's a stripper. I was like, oh, okay.
Exotic dancer.
I'm pretty sure it's advertised as a stripper.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, exotic dancer. Well, you could say exotic dancing because she too does not strip, which is fine.
Watch them nipples.
Well, okay, they're there, I guess.
Yeah.
They're behind metal plating or whatever.
Yeah.
But you said exotic dancer.
Mm-hmm.
I contend there's really no dancing that Grace Jones is doing in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, did she dance for her check? I guess she got paid. She didn't say anything because she was
lines.
practicing that, she wanted to kind of like, do it like they did in the silent films. And I will do this strictly through miming.
Is that your Grace Jones imitation? I've never heard that.
It's my Grace Jones.
Very nice.
It's Grace Jones. Who knows? But so we're here for her. And she does do this whole dance routine, which again took me about 10 minutes to get through because I kept falling asleep. But then she leaves the film. And she really is not in the film. I think if you total it up, Grace Jones is in this movie a total of maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And she shows up at the end, at the climax, which you knew was coming. You knew she had to be there at the climax, and so does she. So she just shows up. There's nothing in the story that says why she should be there, except that she has to be there. Yeah. There's nothing in the story that shows you how she got there. Yeah. It just tells you, storytelling tells you that she has to be there. And thank God she's there, because she's there for the best moment in the movie. For when Grace Jones, as the head vampire in this vampire movie, which, spoiler alert, meets her demise, as we all know she's going to do, and disintegrates into skeletal remains. Grace Jones, clearly, not only with check in hand, check having cleared the bank, Grace Jones' skeleton tells the movie makers, tells everyone in the film, and tells all of us suckers who have sat through Vamp. She raises her hand and gives us all, in skeleton, dead skeleton, the finger. Yes. As to say, fuck you. I got paid. Yeah. And that is the story of Vamp.
Vamp isn't good. I think you have to start with that.
I believe I did.
Yeah.
Did you not hear the part where it took me 3 hours to watch this 90-minute film?
Having said that, I understand why people are drawn to Grace Jones in Vamp. Like, Vamp comes up. Like, Vamp is...
Does it?
Oh, Vamp absolutely comes up. Like Grace Jones and Vamp, like, when you talk to horror movie people, and if you talk to them long enough, Vamp is something...
If you talk to them long enough.
Look, first of all, Black Vampire, which is a short list.
Right.
I think she is a very striking image. Like I think I didn't do a whole lot of research. Like it felt like Grace Jones's character was from a completely different movie.
Well, yeah.
Like the paint and the makeup and you got these hints to this pretty elaborate backstory,
right.
where apparently she was an Egyptian queen, or it's a sarcophagus, sarcophagus that she sleeps in.
Mm.
There's this whole deal with they have like it was a surprisingly, and by surprisingly in this stupid film, well sort of thought out backstory about how they hunted people who wandered in, and they were teamed up with the police, and I was like, I felt like, again, this was something like this is a whole different movie.
Yeah,
that you're in.
It's not what's on screen.
And I appreciated the image. Like you said, she doesn't talk. She's only in it for 10 minutes. But I appreciated the image of Grace Jones in the movie.
Okay.
That's, I mean, the only other thing I have, I did think it was interesting that this is what Getty Watanabe was in after 16 Candles.
Yeah.
Because you get the sense, like you said, he doesn't have a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have, but they very deliberately avoided any type of the racial humor.
Right. I mean, his name is Duncan.
I get the sense that was part of his deal.
You think so? I don't know if he had that much agency at that time.
Compared to everybody else in this movie, he's the biggest star in the movie.
Besides Grace Jones.
Is he not the biggest star in the movie?
He's the biggest.
Besides Grace Jones?
He's the biggest star as far as like he had another role, but I don't know if they necessarily are seeing him.
They are trying to make, like, you can tell they're trying to make one of these knockoff 80s teen
horror,
buddy horror movies.
Yeah.
You get Long Duck Dong in it
mm-hmm.
as the sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
That automatically groups you in with these much better films.
Right.
But again, there's no racialized humor.
No. Which is fine.
Right. So, okay, you can think about 16 Candles. You can think about Breakfast Club and everything, but I'm not doing that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right.
Which, you ever think about the fact that Anthony Michael Hall tried to kill a guy in Breakfast Club?
He tried to kill.
Remember, because he brought the flare. He brought the gun to school, but it was a flare gun.
Oh yeah. Well, this was
like we don't we never really talk about it. Like Mila Estevez was a jock and he taped the dude's butt shut, and Molly Ringwald cut school, and then the one dude pulled the fire alarm. But Anthony Michael Hall tried to kill a guy.
I feel like that's one of those things that has come up in the wake of the whole like trench coat mafia thing. I think it may have been referenced,
and we all just sort of laughed it off.
Dude, think of how many crazy things.
Like the shop dude was giving him a B because he couldn't turn the light on, because remember he had the breakdown, like it wouldn't turn on, and then he brought a gun. He was going to kill the shop teacher.
I mean, dude, this is a show where we've already talked about how sometimes we just turn a blind eye to signs that are right in front of our face.
Right.
So.
And they made fun of him and joked when they made him write the letter at the end of the movie. But he was going to kill a guy.
Okay. All right.
And that exchange was more entertaining than this whole movie. And I really did like literally for like 7 minutes, I sat on the sofa and I thought, Anthony Michael Hall tried to kill a guy in the Breakfast Club, and no one ever talks like that. Was just, and he told everybody I brought a gun because it wouldn't turn on. And he was gonna give me a B, and I gotta get an A. I gotta get an A's. So I brought a gun to school, and they said what? And he's like, yeah, and it was a flare gun. And then everybody laughed, but he was like, he didn't bring a real gun because he didn't have a real gun.
Mm-hmm.
But if he had a real gun, he'd have killed the shop teacher.
And it's interesting that you paid so much attention to this thought, because you did not have to pay any attention
right
to Vamp.
Right. Because Grace Jones had went off. Grace Jones killed that girl though.
Oh,
The waitress.
The waitress, yeah.
It was weird tonal issues.
It was weird
because it was like madcap, and then she ripped that dude's throat out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is a different movie. And then it was madcap again.
Yeah. But you could also see
then she killed that girl.
You could also see like where the budgetary restraints, like because she rips the girl's heart out, but you don't see her like in any other movie. You'd have seen her pull it out. She just basically like punches her.
Right.
And the next thing you know, she's got her heart in her hand.
Right.
And then people are walking around with like this balsa wood sticks sticking through them. It's such a cheap movie. It's so cheap.
The dude coming back at the end because it was
plywood.
It was not plywood.
It wasn't plywood. It was
not formaldehyde.
Formica.
It was
Formica.
That genuinely made me giggle.
It was
a genuine.
Yeah.
Also, when everyone was speechless after that Grace Jones performance,
which I was too.
I was about to say that made me laugh too because I felt the same way.
Exactly.
I was like, "What did I just see?
What just
happened?"
like, but I would have felt that same because I'm like,
and before I knew she was a vampire, I was like, how'd she get hired as a stripper? This ain't sexy. It's just weird.
This is not sexy. It's not weird. It's not even burlesque.
Right.
This is just
what is this? And everyone just stopped. Like everybody in the film stopped.
Yes. And like this was but the thing is like this is the one they came to the club for.
Right.
This is why we're here.
And then the douchey guy said, yeah, I'm going to go back. I was like, this guy. Yeah. And Anthony Michael Hall was going to kill the shop teacher.
And Michael Jackson put blacks in space.
Yes, blacks in space. Ola Ray said, I'm scared. And she got up and went back. And Michael Jackson gave her a look. And that was a look all the way from Gary, Indiana.
Yes, it was.
Because
that was his Joe Jackson look.
I know, because he still had popcorn. So would you recommend Vamp, though? Is the real question.
No. I would recommend Vamp in its Blu-ray edition that amazingly is called From Dusk Till Dawn. That's the movie you should watch, which is actually a fun movie.
Actually, I'm real kind of really about Dusk Till Dawn.
I thought it was fun.
Maybe tries too hard.
Maybe where this had Grace Jones doing something. I don't know what. From Dusk Till Dawn has
Salma
Hayek.
Yeah.
Legitimately sexy.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think she actually strips in the movie. I don't remember if she strips.
Yeah, I don't think she does.
But you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care.
The other bad thing about Vamp is that it's made in a decade with spectacular vampire movies. Like Near Dawn. Not Near Dawn.
Not sure what you're trying to pull.
The Bill Paxton film. Catherine Bigelow. Near Dark.
Oh, Near Dark. Is that the 80s?
Yeah, that's like 87.
Oh, wow.
It's like Near Dark, Fright Night, Lost Boys. You know what else I like? What was the one with
Lost Boys was good.
You didn't like Fright Night?
Fright Night was good.
You don't like Fright Night? Oh.
I just remember the ones that I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen Lost Boys. I'm actually trying to program. I'm going to get together with a friend and maybe a couple of friends for Halloween, and we're going to watch horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of horror movies that we can watch. Near Dark is a good one to pull.
Near Dark is.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Yeah.
It's good.
How did you feel about Bram Stoker's Dracula?
The Tom Cruise.
No, that's an Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oh, that's Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
I thought atmospherically you can't knock it, but ultimately it just didn't really do anything for me. Yeah, atmospherically, the setting and everything, and it's Gary Oldman, but it just didn't.
It's just a lot of good vampire movies in the 80s.
Is that? I don't think that's.
Oh no,
80s.
that might be 90.
That's 90s.
That might
That's
be
90s,
90.
I
But
think.
just that, in that 10-year period.
Yeah. Oh. Near Dark is a good one. I gotta watch
Near
that.
Dark is real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Near Dark is real good. Maybe my favorite vampire movie.
Near Dark.
Near Dark. It's either Near Dark or Let the Right One In.
Let the
Right One In might be my favorite.
Let the Right One win. I haven't seen that in a minute too. That was good.
Let the Right One In is
That was good.
now that
Favorite vampire
now
movie?
that I've said it out loud. Let the Right One In is my favorite vampire movie.
Favorite vampire movie? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm a sucker for 30 Days of Night.
You like the movie?
It was a dumb, fun movie. It was a dumb, fun. I mean, the comic book is better.
Yeah.
But it was a dumb, fun movie. I don't know. That's a good question. A favorite vampire movie? I don't know. See, it's a bad movie. But there's a part of me that leans on the 70s Dracula with Frank Langella, primarily because I saw that in the theaters. And I saw it as a kid. And it did legitimately scare me as a kid.
Now,
but it's a bad. I've seen it.
Is that a Hammer film?
No, it's not Hammer. No.
Right, because those are all the Christopher.
Yeah, that's Christopher Lee.
I like the Hammer. I like the
Hammer ones are fun.
I like the Hammer vampire movies.
They're fun. They're kind of fun. Yeah.
Because they're kind of sexy.
Well, yeah, I guess
the vampire
so.
movie. Vampires should be sexy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Vince.
Yeah.
Okay, Vince. Vamp missed that memo.
Vamp missed that memo.
Would you recommend that people see Vamp? I think did we cover that?
Yeah. No. Well, I guess you go first.
I don't know.
No.
I said you watch From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. I don't
see, because even on the Grace Jones leisure, I think people pretty much go to Boomerang, and then you get your great. Oh, and if you want more Grace Jones, you go to, because isn't she in one of the Conan movies?
Oh yeah, Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah, so I think that
her and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think you really need to go, and then maybe catch a video, watch her on YouTube. You don't need to see Vamp. I don't even think you need to see her performance in Vamp.
It is frustrating.
Look at the poster.
Because like I said, I wanted to know more about her. It made me think of Aaliyah in it was an interview with the vampire sequel.
Oh, I know the movie you're talking about, and I can't think of it.
Queen of the Dam.
Queen of the Dam, yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. I don't think I'm missing anything.
It's not.
No, I don't think so. I'm surprised you've watched, because you're not a horror guy. I'm surprised you've watched as many of you.
See, here's the thing.
Oh boy.
Octavia Butler's last novel, Fledgling, is a vampire novel.
Yes,
and I actually wrote a chapter in my dissertation on Fledgling. So I did a lot
of research
of vampire stuff.
Okay.
So much vampire stuff.
Okay. So it's not so much horror as the vampire.
So much vampire stuff is in my head because of Fledgling. Which this does have forbidden sexuality.
This Vamp?
Like they leave camp, they leave the safety of campus, they go into the sort of forbidden urban space.
Oh, Fledgling.
No, I'm talking about Vamp. Like I think
they leave the campus.
I think it's significant that the two characters who actually get turned into vampires are the ones that go into this space that they're not supposed to be in. Gotcha. And engage in behavior that they're not supposed to behave.
You found that interesting. Okay.
I mean, it like I said, it very neatly fits into the tradition of vampirism for transgressive sexuality.
Okay.
If you must ask.
If you must ask.
There you go. So
there you go. Well, it's got that going for it.
So no, I don't like horror movies, but I've got so much vampire stuff in my head.
Okay. Well, we'll have to take advantage of that.
Yes.
Maybe next year. For horror.
So well, we've done Captain EO, so
we've gotten that out of our system.
Gotten that out of our system.
Yeah.
Gotten that out of our system.
All right.
But I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, we wouldn't don't watch Vamp, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we landed here on the Show Mission. Before we tell you, hey, this was episode 274.
Oh yeah, game on next week.
That's right.
Yeah, game on next week.
So that means, ladies and gentlemen, next week,
oh yeah,
the road to 300 begins.
That's right.
And it begins in earnest. And I was gonna wait to tell you, but I don't even care. The road to 300 begins next week, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to our website, MichelleMission.com, and you can see all of the films that we have lined up for the road to 300. For the next 25 films that we will be reviewing. But next week, we are starting things in a grand way, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are. Hey, it's confirmed, so we're going to do it. I know. Vince is always trepidatious about these things, but I got a confirmation, so we're going with it. Next week, episode 275.
We ain't gonna say like a special guest schedule. You going hard.
I'm going hard.
I'm
going hard. Vince, we're going hard.
All right.
Next week, episode 275 is Vincent's selection. He kicks things off.
Yes,
and you know who one of Vincent's, if not his favorite, certainly one of his favorite directors.
Oh, he's definitely my favorite director.
Spike Lee.
Yes,
we're going back to the land of 40 Acres and a Mule.
Yes, we are.
And we are going to be reviewing Jungle Fever.
I got jungle fever. You got jungle fever. She got jungle fever. We're in love.
That's right. And helping us.
She's gone black boy crazy. I've gone white girl hazy. There's no saying maybe. We're in love. It's no My Sharia more, but it's better than Don't Drive Drunk.
That's true.
Because mothers against drunk
Okay.
Remember the video at the end of it, like the dude is drunk and then Stevie Wonder comes up and says, "Give me the keys, I'll drive."
Yes. Not one of Stevie Wonder's strongest moments. But we got a strong moment next week for you, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be kicking off the road to 300, episode 275, reviewing Jungle Fever. And we're doing it with a very special guest. Next week, talking to us on the Michelle Mission will be none other than actor, comedian,
icon,
definite icon, Tommy Davidson. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Tommy Davidson, very, very special guest star next week. Very special guest next week on the Michelle Mission. Tommy Davidson with Vincent. And I guess I'll be here too as we review Jungle Fever.
And I will try not to spend the whole time talking about cream corn. I'm running things.
Something tells me you're not going to make it.
Stick with me. I'll have you farting through satin. So I'm running things.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy Davidson helping us review Jungle Fever next week here on the Michelle Mission, where we invite you to like and follow us on all the social media. All that social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Michelle Mission. Subscribe on YouTube at Michelle Mission. And Michelle Mission is spelled MICHEAUXMISSION. 2 Men, 1 podcast. Every black film ever made. Go to michellemission.com to check out all of our past shows and hit swag, where you can check out all of the cool designs and gifts that we have available for your buying pleasure by way of our good friends at T Public. Email all of your thoughts and concerns to the Michelle Mission at gmail.com. The Michelle Mission, a proud member of the Podglomerate. They make podcast work. All righty.
All right.
Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm looking so forward.
I love the road shows.
I know, man.
I love the 25 leading up to our 100.
I know. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to be doing this for a while, and it's going to be so much fun. We got a whole lot of special surprises, special specials that we're going to be doing. Oh, it's insane. It's insane what we've got planned for you. We hope you all enjoy it. All right. Until next week, he's Vincent. I'm Len. And in parting, we say,
We'll see you when it's time to meet again.